Welcome back to the Daily Dollar Podcast. This is episode 25.
Dang.
Happy Friday,
We got
everyone.
as many episodes as I have years in my life.
That's a fib. But I won't out you completely. I'm your host, Cait and I'm here with
Art Morrison the
25-year-old
third. 25-year-old Art Morrison the third.
And we're discussing what makes a good deal.
Yeah.
So what makes a good deal to you?
I am the deal guy, huh?
Yeah.
The number runner. Oh man, a
Yeah.
good deal is when you get a house. That's it. Anytime you end up with some real estate on your belt, it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Because of everything we've talked about on several episodes. It's a tangible asset. It appreciates in value. It can provide cash flow if done correctly.
It provides a roof over your head.
Worst case, right?
Worst case scenario.
Worst case, it can shelter you from rain. So let's look at all the ways that real estate can be lucrative. The real answer to what makes a good deal is if it checks even one of these boxes, it's a good deal. Now, don't get me wrong. There's levels to good deal. There's great deal. There's home run deals. But what makes a good deal is any deal that checks one of these boxes. So box number one would certainly be equity.
Okay.
That's when you get the property cheap. So if a property is worth $400 and you bought it for $200, you just walked into $200,000. Congrats.
Jeez.
And you can access that by refinancing the property or pulling out a home equity line of credit or a HELOC, as they call it. So equity is like, that's a good deal. Just like an iPhone, just like a pair of sneakers. Buy low, it's a good deal. Buy low, knowing that you can sell high. Even if you don't sell, just knowing you have something that's worth more than you paid for, always a good deal.
Okay.
It's like getting a discount at Macy's. Always a good deal. Number two, appreciation, which is kind of attached to equity. It's when the property goes up in value over time. So equity is built in just by turning the clock. The way that I'll give a scenario that separates this from equity. The house is worth $300. You bought it for $300, but because of what they're doing in that area and what you know in your studies in that area, what the township is telling you, what the news is saying, or developments that you see are happening, you project that it's going to be worth $400, $500, $600 later.
So
Right.
it's closely tied to location.
Certainly location. I would say almost all location. Like, popularity of the area, but not even so much location. I mean, listen, the government has this thing called opportunity zones where they give tax breaks to people who invest in that area. So when the government deems a place an opportunity zone, all the investors and developers come running to literally develop that area.
And that goes along with location, because if you find an
Yeah.
opportunity zone, you know that that's a good location. You know
Yep.
that they're intentionally going after a certain spot to build it up, and
Yeah.
that's
So
that could be crazy. The appreciation could shoot up crazy.
I mean, it has in certain
Yeah.
areas. I know people who have taken advantage of it. It like really sets their family up for life.
Yeah.
Just like that. Like they invested somewhere or they inherited a house
Yeah.
from grandma who bought her house at $200. It is worth $600, but she passed it down to you for $0.
Right.
That's over $500,000 right there you have access to.
Yeah, just think about all the hot spots in the country right now that are more recently popping off. If you had got into that market earlier,
Yeah,
then you'd be set for life.
absolutely.
So that's a good way to see
Stuff for life is
appreciation.
extreme, depending on your life, I guess.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, so equity is number one, appreciation is number two. Number three is cash flow, and this is the one that people accidentally often put at number one. Is it going to make me money? You have to understand that the reason why I have this at number three is if I buy a rental property right now, and it's 2 units, I'll get back to appreciation in a second. If there's 2 units and 2 tenants are paying the mortgage, and I'm not making any cash flow, none, meaning the mortgage is $2,000 and each tenant is paying $1,000 each. So I'm breaking even. Even on a break even, I win because of A, appreciation, and B, as they pay the mortgage down. Remember, a mortgage is a loan, it's not rent. So as they pay it down, I get all of that appreciation. All of that equity, for someone else paying it down.
Right.
Okay, so cash flow is number 3 because that is a good deal I just described to you, but I don't get any cash flow.
Yeah.
Cash flow is number 3 though, and not number 5 or 10 because it is very nice to get what we call mailbox money every first of the month. Again, I got 2 tenants. My mortgage is $2,000, but each tenant is paying $1,500. That's $1,000 profit that I can literally irresponsibly spend. I can throw it in the club. I can flush it down the toilet for YouTube videos. I can buy a Mercedes Benz. I can do whatever I want with that $1,000, put it in savings, whatever, because it's legit raw cash flow, right? Because remember that 1,000 or 2,000 is going into the house. It's going into your investment. So you already did the responsible thing. The tenants, just by paying your mortgage, you did the responsible thing, which allows you to be irresponsible with that cash flow, which is why you see all the gurus and everyone saying, buy a Bentley with your cash flow and get more doors and all of that. So cash flow is definitely number 3, pretty high on the list.
How many numbers do we have?
I'm not sure. I'm kind of making this up as I go. We said equity, appreciation, cash flow. Number 4, taxes.
Ooh.
Yep,
Okay.
tax advantages. Taxes or tax advantages. This is a cool one because every area is different. But certainly there's a lot of tax write-offs and depreciation and things that you can do that I'm not an accountant. Just so you guys are aware, neither is Cait. So
Definitely
talk to your accountant about all the different ways that you can use home ownership and owning a house or 2 or 10 like us that you can use to defer taxes, just mitigate taxes in many different ways. So definitely.
So is this what makes a good deal or what makes a deal good?
No, what makes a good deal? So
Okay.
for example, I'll give the tax example. Good question.
Yeah.
If I flip a house right now and I make $100,000, I'm gonna get hit with what's called capital gains on that tax, unless I do a 1031 tax exchange where I buy a like kind, property, and I invest that $100,000 into that property, and I buy a property that's similar to the one that I sold. I move that money over. There's a lot of rules. I have to identify the property before this one sells, and I have 6 months to do it, and blah blah blah. But I moved that money over. Now I am not taxed on that 100 grand. The taxes are deferred to a much later date. So I'm giving you that example because if I just flip the house, am I going to be picky on that next house that I buy? No. Any house that is like mine, I'm gonna just go ahead and buy because it allowed me to avoid and save money on taxes. So in that scenario, it was a good deal. Right? So it's such a loaded question. What makes a good deal? It all depends on the scenario that you're in. Now, a perfect deal would be one that covers all 4 of these. It's going to make me cash flow every month. It's going to appreciate. I'm walking into equity. And, it's allowing me to avoid taxes or, the taxes are low in that city or, whatever the case might be. So these are the big 4 for me, like that I look at when I'm evaluating deals. Is there anything else? I mean,
No, I always say the only good deal is a win-win.
what do you mean?
So when you're, I guess, negotiating with somebody to make a good deal.
Oh, you're going on that end, like
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm. That's just the kind of person I am. I'm more of a relationships type of person. You're more of like a hard numbers type person. I think that's why we level out a little bit. But that's the first thing that I think when I think what makes a good deal.
Oh, okay. So if it's a good deal for the seller and the buyer, then it's a good deal. If everybody's walking away happy, it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. You can put that win-win.
I mean that doesn't have to go with the with the numbers, but that's
I want you to add it because it could also apply to a partnership.
Yeah.
If you're partnering with somebody and it's like, we split up deals like this where I'm partnering with you on a deal, you get the cash flow, I get the equity.
Right.
Or you get 50% of the cash flow and 60% of the equity or whatever, depending on what you bring to the table.
There's so much room in real estate for you to have not only a win-win, but a win-win-win-win-win-win.
Yeah, even on our deals, right, you get the commission for selling it. I get the profits. Our partner gets the proceeds from the construction costs. Like there's so many people that eat. So
investors get their returns.
Yeah, investors get their returns. So if you're asking me what makes a good deal, and I have, let's say, 20 investors to satisfy, and I have some money that I need to move, and you know it's dry out here, so you need another deal, you need another listing, and I find a house where the numbers aren't necessarily a home run for me as an investor, but my whole team wins, and
Yeah.
it keeps the company moving, and we can get content from it and whatever. Then
Yeah.
that's a good deal.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why the win-win thing is important, because it's not always going to be a home run in regards to equity appreciation, cash flow, or tax advantages.
That goes back to the first thing that you said is what makes a good deal is getting a house.
Yeah, I mean, always
Yeah.
buying a house is always it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Like it's a good deal. I don't know how to otherwise explain it. It's the only thing that you can buy, pay it down to zero, refinance it, make your money, and repeat forever. Your kids can do it. Like it's a tangible asset. The thing is, because of rent, it's like rent makes the real estate market dope. Because of the concept of rent, you know that you're always like we're conditioned as a society to pay monthly for a roof over our head, hotel, Airbnb, regular monthly rent, or mortgage. We think that we're going to be paying for a roof over our head forever, which may or may not be true. I mean, mortgages are 30 years, damn near forever to me. In the you know what I mean? In the realm of like, you know, what space are we in here? Instant gratification is the word I'm looking for, right? So 30 years is basically forever. So if we're gonna be paying forever, we might as well set ourselves up for a nice fat check every 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
By refinancing, using a home equity line of credit, making repairs, building equity in the property, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, that's what makes a good deal.
That's what makes a good deal.
Yeah, as long as you can get your hands on a property, man, and pass it down to family, or just keep it, sell it right before you die and cash out. I don't know, like whatever you want to do. Real estate is definitely a means to that. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
All right, cool. What is that, episode 25?
Episode 25.
That means it's a freaking Friday. Let's go.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy
Enjoy
Friday.
your weekend.
It's actually Friday the 25th. I'm kidding, it's not. I just wanted some common ground there. Like the Mamba Mentality episode.
Yeah,
episode 24.
There's literally no.
There's no correlation here. It's just Friday. Enjoy, guys. I'm about to enjoy my weekend. Make sure you visit UnitedHomeRelief.com.
Make sure you like, share, and subscribe this podcast. It is on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere you find your podcasts. You can also find us at UnitedHomeRelief.com. Did you say that already?
I did say that. You cut me off, but I let it slide. UnitedHomeRelief.com. Real Estate Roadmap is our online course where you can learn more of the benefits of real estate like we talked about on this episode. So make sure you go. It's really cheap, it's accessible, and it's taught in a way that anyone can do it.
And if you have anything you want us to talk about, go follow us at United Home Relief on Instagram. Shoot us a DM. We are...
DMs are open.
DMs are open and we answer them. I answer them.
Bro, you be giving too much information. I answer them sometimes.
Too much information. No such thing. That's what this podcast is
You
for.
might be fibbing. By the time they listen to this, it might be somebody, you might have hired somebody else to answer them.
Anyways, happy Friday, guys. Enjoy your weekend. I'm Cait McCruddy.
Art Morrison III here.
Another day, another dollar.
Catch you guys on Monday. Peace.
Peace.